17,000 subscribers! Oh my god! Have you subscribed yet? Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. For those of you who are just tuning in, I thank you so much for finding your way through the interweb into the ONL fam. For those of you who are a part of the OG ONL fam and are tuning in yet again to listen to me talk, I thank you so much for your continued love and support. First and foremost, I want to shout out a huge hooray! That's my huge shout out. We have reached 17,000 subscribers. Like, the ONL fam is just growing and I am so happy that I'm able to help people out. Like, I am not an immigration lawyer or an agent. I have just always had a huge passion for traveling, and having gone through a lot of the stuff, you know, with immigration as a student or whatever. When I started this channel, my goal was just to kind of like talk about my experience in hopes that maybe it would help someone out. And here I am still recording stuff, and it is so humbling that you guys trust me and my opinion on so many things. But again, do remember that it's very tough for me to answer, you know, the tons and tons of emails and messages I get every single day. So, you know, just remember, my goal is to help you guys out more through these videos. I'm not really looking to, you know, start a business where I can answer questions one-on-one, because I don't know enough about that sort of stuff. The stuff that I do talk about is purely through experience or the people I've spoken to, and I'm very honest with you guys about that. I'm not pretending to be something I'm not. I'm just another person in the world who is trying to make a difference, I suppose. So, in keeping with that whole trying to make a difference, a lot of people have asked me about discrimination and racism, and when it comes to immigrating to a country, which is better? Where is there more racism? Is there more discrimination in certain parts of Canada or the US or whatever? So I think today I will just kind of talk about Canada, and then or just sort of talk about it in general, and maybe like open up the conversation, or maybe this will be an open shut conversation that really I don't really know what to say about, but I feel like I owe it to you guys to potentially try and have another honest conversation about the subject. So when you look different, or you speak differently, or whatever, like, and you physically are very different to the rest of people, I don't know, like, if something like that is a concern for you to move somewhere, I really, really, really advise that you don't have something like that on your mind. Like, I just recorded like a really long video about this, and then my memory card got corrupted, so I'm actually re-recording this. So I feel like I've already said everything, but now I can't remember what I've said in this video. So anyways, okay, what I want you guys to do is like sit in your chair or whatever, and then sit back for a second and think about how the world construes you. And when I say you, I mean where you're from, you know, your race, your ethnicity, your religion, your nationality, your gender. Just think about how the media or the world or TV or movies or magazines or Facebook or Instagram or whatever portrays who you are, and really think about if you believe that to be true. Now think about the countries you want to go to and the media and how it covers those countries. If you believe that the media isn't true about you and who you are in that negative fashion, just remember that it's probably not true about another country either. I really do feel like, as much as we have a lot of information and knowledge at our fingertips, I really do feel like the underlying theme for a lot of that information is just utter lack of knowledge. It's ignorance and a lot of it is stupidity, where everyone feels like they know everything and they talk about everything, but really everyone's just kind of talking out of their butt. But, you know, think about a lot of the, I guess, third world countries. I don't like saying that because I feel like every country has something to offer to the world, but that's my opinion. So if you think about like India or China or Africa or Ireland or Scotland, think about how the media negatively portrays these countries. Think about Mexico and Cuba, wherever it is that you're from. And like, I mean, there are people who are living lives there who are doing well or whatever, and you know, a lot of people are led to believe that if you go to India, there's tigers and elephants walking around everywhere, that if you come to Canada, there's polar bears walking on the streets, and like just stupid, like unrealistic images of what the world is, and it's not true. So, you know, I've never really encountered racism towards me or hate crimes towards me that has really left a very, very strong mark in my memory. Like, there's nothing that really, you know, comes screaming back to me. I think the only thing that happened once was when I was in Wales and I was going for a hike, and like some 10-12-year-old kid called me a Paki. I mean, like, physically I could have taken that kid and just like crushed him with one hand. Like, it's not a matter of who's more powerful or if that made me feel powerless. It didn't. Like, it didn't influence me at all. But it is sad that there are people who still think very much in a separation and divide kind of way. I really strongly urge that you think more cohesively. Think of yourself more as a human being before you think of yourself as anything else. And the best advice I can give to anyone who is looking to move into another country, please don't go into a country and feel like an outsider and then group with other people who also feel like outsiders, and then you end up spending a huge chunk of your life just kind of always being like us versus them. There should never be an us versus them. Whether you're a man or a woman or Indian or Chinese or Canadian or British or black or white, whatever it might be, there should never be an us or them. But the truth of the world is, no matter where we live, there exists an us and a them. There is always the whole sort of like, I am better because, you know, we talk down to people sometimes in our life and we go, ugh, these people, why does that mentality exist? And sadly, it exists, but it's up to us to decide if we want that to exist within us. So, you know, like if you're moving to Canada, if you're moving to the US or England or wherever, I really urge that you try and understand the culture of where you're moving to. Also, like, respect what that country has to offer you. And if that's not what you like, and if you're going to go there and criticize everything about the country or the people, then maybe you're not meant to be there. Like, I don't know, right? I don't know anything about anyone who's watching this right now. I love traveling, and my way to travel is I go and I live there. I get a job, or I go to school, or I do volunteer work. Like, I'm not a touristy traveler. I like to experience life in places. And the way I do that is I kind of like try and amalgamate myself into the community or the society. I make friends with the locals. I try and go to the local restaurants and eat the food or whatever. And that's how I have sort of live my life, and I choose to define myself on my own terms. I don't feel like I should be defined by being a girl or being Canadian or by my race or anything like that. I just feel like I have the right to choose who I am, and I have an opportunity to show that to people when I meet them. I really hope this doesn't run out of battery. So anyways, when it comes to racism, I strongly urge that you do not rely on this overly exaggerated, almost tabloid-like media that's just sensationalizing so much news just for attention. The world is so much better than, you know, the media makes it seem. And like, yeah, with Trump around, like there are a lot of people who are worried and people don't want to go through the States, but I have friends who are flying in and out of the States all the time, and you know, so far everything's been fine. I personally haven't gone to the States yet, so I don't really have anything to say on the matter, but you know what? Choose what you really want to do, prioritize your goals first, and then aspire towards those. Like, stop worrying about these sort of things. It's 2017. Racism shouldn't be something that we like even have to think about. Like, you might meet people who don't know where you're from or your culture or your religion, but that's an opportunity for them to learn. So maybe I didn't answer anyone's questions. Maybe you're sitting there upset because I didn't give you a direct answer and that's all you want in life. Unfortunately, that's not the way the world works. You can't expect someone to solve all of your problems for you. But I can help you understand a little bit of the world a little bit more through my perspective, and I can only hope that I'm able to do that. So just please remember, like, there's room for all of us to succeed. Like, you know, be kind to one another, help each other out, and like support one another. And you know, if you meet anyone who doesn't know about your race or your culture or your religion, talk to them about it. I constantly ask people about their religious beliefs or their cultural beliefs or whatever, because I'm sort of like culturally, religiously handicapped. I just kind of like live life to the beat of my own drum sort of thing. And so I'm always asking people how they, you know, live, and it's very interesting to me. But I think you should have to be open to the way people live also, as long as no one is hurting anybody. So please be kind to one another, support one another, think strong always, and until next time, I will talk to you guys again very soon. Bye.